But we are back.
We back.
It seemed like a month, but we've been missing 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We missed about 3 episodes. So we're back. It's your girl, DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
It's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5 himself.
And it is your fella.
We are the
Welcome back to regular scheduled program.
And we are the
Way You Ass Podcast.
I thought you'd at least be nice with guests around.
That's the intro.
That's not the intro.
Do you mind if we use what's the word?
Profanity?
It's another word you can use though.
What are you trying to say?
Cursing? Profanity?
Yeah, but can't you say it another way besides profanity? What am I thinking?
Swearing?
Yeah, cussing, I guess.
Cussing.
That's black people cursing.
Cussing and cursing.
So we're back for another
Definitely
episode of the
things.
Where You Ask podcast. I know we've been gone for about 3 episodes. One episode we got invited to Amzai's show, Sam Pluto. Another episode was Valentine's Day, and then another episode, you know, when you have a family duty call. So shout out to our brothers who are married with kids. You know, it's not too many of them who's married with kids, but shout out to them doing their thing. You know, one day when I get there, I'm still gonna get up and just leave whenever I want to. So good luck with that. That's how I'm saying, ain't got kids. They gotta know. No, I'm joking. But tonight we have a special guest in the building, another podcaster, which is dope when we get to connect with other podcasters in the building, and I love it. And she's a female like me. Not too many of us in the gang. Not too many of us in
At least solo, right?
at least solo. Not too many of us solo in the gang.
Yeah.
And I love it. We have Clifford Mack in the building.
C Mac.
C Mac in the building.
We need our buttons.
We do.
Ba, 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 ba.
With
See if I
the
can find
Peeling
out.
Off the Layers podcast. Peeling Off the Layers podcast. And I don't know what I thought about Shrek.
Thank y'all so much for having me, though. It's just a blessing. I want to pay homage to y'all, give honor what honor is due. So thank you for showing up for your platform. Thank you for everything that you do for the city. I appreciate it.
That was good.
Oh,
We
good.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Let's talk about your
Thank you.
podcast. How did you come up with the title? What is it about? And congratulations on your award you won.
Right.
That's how I found out about you.
Congratulations.
Right.
Which award?
Oh,
Which
Y'all know
award?
something
Whoa.
Tucker?
the recent one. Did you
Oh,
win something
I like
recently?
Are
that.
you talking about the billboard?
Yes.
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 Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
for
you
that.
so much.
That's how I found out about you.
Thank
so-
you.
Tell us about your podcast.
I
What is
appreciate it.
about?
Okay, well, good question. How did I come up with the name? First of all, I was in a conversation, 2020,
Mhm.
having a conversation with a person, and you know how you're having a conversation with somebody and they just feel like they know you, the ins and outs of you, and they don't.
Yeah.
That's where the idea came from.
Okay.
There's so many layers of us, and I got it from the onion metaphor. Now, I'm a communication major, so shouts out to all the communication majors. The onion metaphor is inside of us is a core, like the core of an onion. But before you get to that core, you're peeling back so many layers of that onion. So if you think about it, we're all onions. I don't know that much about you, or him. But the more that I talk to you, the more that I listen to you, the more that I spend time with you, is the more I get to know you as a person. So there's so many layers to us. So peeling off the layers is really diving deep into the core of who we are as human beings. So that's how I came up with the title. And that's what it means.
So I seen that she had sent us a text that we was asking what topics you was into.
Okay.
So the topics that you sent was like well, first we usually do this a lot. Mental health checks. So we usually do it, especially with a lot of podcasts. We do mental health checks, but just in general, even if we're guests on other people's podcasts, we usually do a mental health check. So with that said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that we need to call who?
The suicide hotline, I guess.
Oh.
Somebody.
I said Dr. Phil last time, but y'all
Dr.
said
Phil.
Dr. Phil cool?
Dr.
Okay,
Phil.
Dr. Phil, or
No,
Ayana fixed my life.
I'm not calling Dr. Phil.
Ayana
I'm
fixed
asking
my
like,
life.
yeah, who we calling?
Ayana fixed my life.
For who?
Is that the older black lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
she,
did.
she like she is wonderful.
I did.
Yeah,
I
Ayana
did.
fixed my
Don't
life.
you think she a good hugger? Like if you like
Like a
really
good
going through
mommy
something in your
hug,
life,
like,
and you
Her and
just,
Tabitha. I feel like her
Like
and
if you hug
Tabitha.
on her, you can let it all out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that
Tabitha.
good cry.
Like you'll cry.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
hug
like
her,
a good-
you
like
just
just
don't
a
know why.
good-
Like
But on a scale of 1, you need to call Yana Fix My Life. On a scale of 10,
10.
you just bright, sunny day, 24/7 type.
yeah.
How is your
I'm
mental health?
Like, honestly, I'm neutral. I'm at a good 5, 6. I'm in a good place where I'm able to, first of all, I have a therapist.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Shouts out
never-
to
I've
everybody
never-
who has a therapist.
I never
And
did therapy before.
The stigma of
You haven't?
therapy, that's a whole nother topic in
yeah,
itself.
we can do, man.
I want to try it, but
Neither
I don't
you
know what's
have?
stopping me. I don't know what's
No.
stopping me. I want to try it. I low key.
Like a
do, but
professional?
Yeah, like
I
a
wouldn't say I'm
Yes,
probably
a
scared of
professional.
bringing up
Professional.
like
Right,
past
no, I've
traumas
never
and
did
stuff.
that.
That's probably why I'm like, I
Bruh,
don't know.
like, okay, just speaking from experience,
Mhm.
and you probably maybe agree with it and have a different take, whatever, but you don't understand the weight that you're carrying,
Oh yeah,
That's true.
especially for us in the Black community,
That's right.
and especially for Black men, speaking
Mhm.
on behalf of Black men, because we are not programmed
to be as strong
To
as
be-
they tell you to be.
to be vulnerable. We're
Right.
not.
That's
So it
true.
takes a certain type of person to either tap into that early,
Mhm.
or say, as life goes, no, I'm gonna break this generational curse.
That's right.
I'm gonna show those that are looking at me in my household
Mhm.
how to do this differently. And you don't understand that those type of shackles that come off when you make the conscious decision, I need some help, and then go do it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Like that generational
Mhm.
curse, that chain
Mhm.
that you don't understand. Like, you feel so light.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You may not even, your therapist may not even fully comprehend what you're relaying to them all
Yeah.
the way. That's why they try to break, like, kind of take bits and pieces out and try to build off of that to what they understand, to help them understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
That's what a good therapist is. That's one that's in tune with their patient.
Mhm.
Where some people have horror stories.
yeah,
You know, I've had a horror story my first go around at therapy. But I've had good therapists
Mhm.
that you can feel when
The
somebody
difference.
really listening to you.
Genuine.
Right.
Yeah.
You can feel that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just knowing that they have empathy towards to why you're in there, and you can, what the dialogue between the two of you, and the recommendations and the suggestions that come from them, you can feel from that alone whether that therapist has your best interest.
yeah,
You can definitely feel that from there, even if they don't understand it all the way.
Mhm.
Because what you're saying to them, you're like, oh man, I was able to get this off my chest,
Right.
and I'm so glad I was able to do it with this person, because I really need help. It took a lot for me to come in here.
yeah,
It took a lot. And for it to fall in the hands of somebody who actually cares about them, I wholeheartedly suggest
ego.
that
Yes.
both of you
I feel like some of the
seek
older
that out.
generation is some of the reasons why I don't go to, because like my older sister tried it before, and I know she tried to bring up some of the stuff that they talked about in therapy to my mom. And the older generation, how they all about therapy, and how the only therapy you need is Jesus. You don't need to talk about it, or that didn't happen. But if I said it happened the way I saw it happen, you know, you have to exactly. That didn't happen. I didn't see that going on. You saying that I let so and so do this to you, or you saying that I wasn't there for you, like that's not what I said.
Right.
So I feel like that's one of
I
the
will say
reasons.
this:
Reserved.
therapy is an unbiased environment that allows you to release whatever it is that you want to release. Now, when I started therapy,
I know I do.
When I started therapy, I had two therapists, and I wanted two therapists because I wanted one that was Christian and I wanted one that was not. So I can get two perspectives.
Now, did the race matter
I had
as well?
one that was black.
That's what I was gonna say.
And I have one that's Caucasian.
Okay.
Not that it mattered, but my therapist who was not Christian or did not claim any type of religion or spiritual background, she just happened to be African American. So I'm in therapy that is free. So I can hook you up with free therapy.
Oh, send me that, please, definitely.
So that resource for you guys, I'm all about like, look, contact me. I can link you up for free therapy because it is expensive. And that's why I dropped one. Okay. But it gives you a safe place to land on, a safe space to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. So we're peeling off those layers, so to speak, with your therapist or with the person that you confide in. Now, if you're not comfortable with going to a therapist at first, if you have someone that you truly trust to confide in, to tell a deep, dark secret, and you know that person's not going to share it, I believe and trust that God will give you the discernment on who you need to share that with.
Amen.
If you have a journal,
write
it down. Make it plain. Pray. Sometimes, I'm going to be real, you can't confide in your leaders at church sometimes.
Are you
not all the time?
How long you got?
What here?
Yeah.
I'm well versed in a lot of areas.
Because
you can't, because I have been in situations where, and I've been a witness where a young lady confided into her pastor, and her story
got out.
Was turned into a sermon.
I've seen that a lot of times.
Now that blood is on your hands. Because guess what? Now that soul is out the door.
Yeah, I see that.
And lost. So we have to be careful and do our research and be diligent and be mindful and be respectful. Mental health is real.
It is.
People are walking around here with smiles on their faces, but they are very broken inside. And every day it is a battle to stay alive. Yeah. So shout out to my therapist.
My work is my mental health. I talk about it all the time. Me going to work is a mental health battle. I talk about it all the time.
The mind is a battlefield. And see, I'm 37 now. So my first time, making that conscious decision on seeking therapy was just March of last year because of traumatic experience. I don't regret it. I am an advocate for mental health. I'm an advocate for therapy. It's okay to go. Does it mean something is wrong with you? No, it doesn't. But we have to really break the generational curse and the generational iniquities of these stigmas on therapy.
Well, I like the fact that our co-host Travis and his wife, they went to therapy, and it wasn't the first something was wrong.
Yeah.
And I like that because a lot of times, like you said, people just assume something's wrong with you. That's why you go to therapy. But that's not why.
That's not the case. You can seek therapy when you're at a high in your life. You can seek therapy when you're in a low. Sometimes it's good just to check in.
And sometimes you need someone to talk to that's not your friends. You know your friends and your homeboys and homegirls gonna tell you what you want. Yeah, girl, that's the man for you. Or yeah, girl, take that job or whatever it is. But you need a neutral ground that doesn't know you at all. That can be like, you know what?
Exactly.
Let me give you the pros and cons, not what you want to hear.
Now I have some really good close girlfriends, and I love them to death.
Oh, you need those.
But guess what? I ain't telling y'all everything.
But then sometimes too,
Sometimes
even-
I gotta keep that to myself,
Yeah.
and I have to learn how to navigate my emotions. I
yeah,
have to learn how to control my words. I have to learn how to process things. As we get older, these are things that we have to learn. Nobody has it all together,
no.
and it's okay.
And I feel like even if you're friends or you're close friends, sometimes they are not ready to bear what you want to tell them. That's why the therapist is there for that
That's
too
right.
as well.
Exactly.
Because you might tell them some stuff and they be like, man, I ain't ready for this. I didn't know you was gonna tell me. Wait, what? You told me.
But it also it's really like a conversation between like you and I. We're talking like two girlfriends. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Hey Clifford, all right, well, we were talking about this and this and this and this and this last time we spoke. You want to touch on anything about what happened? Like recap, it's a friendship, and I trust her, and it's telehealth. I've never met my therapist before, and it's over the phone. You can choose whether you want to meet your therapist in person. This was during COVID, so they had shut everything down. It can be telehealth over the phone. It could be a Zoom, or it could be in person. So
I'll look into it.
absolutely.
I've never been a type to hold my if something's bothering me. So I got that part I guess from my mom. She's if something if she feel like you being funny, she'll ask you, "Are you trying to be funny?" Versus bottling it up.
But
or something
therapy
like
is
that,
not
but-
just about holding stuff in.
Well, yeah, I
Sometimes
know.
it's about past traumas or anything that might have happened to you in the past or stuff like that. You just
Well, my trauma, I've just seen a lot. I've just
Exactly,
seen a lot. I've just
see?
seen like, man, I literally all of it. But I say I don't hold it in. I'm not good at holding it. Like even some bothering my facial, like when we was doing interviews with the politicians, when Travis was sitting there, it was like,
his face.
like my facial expression is I can't hide what I'm feeling or. Like if you're talking to me and I know you lying to me, I can't hide the fact that I know that you
Right.
lied to me or something. Like
Right.
So I think with going to one thing I do think I can go and talk about is, and I think I've said it before a few times is anger management. So like when I get mad, it's like it's no cap. Like it can go however it can go. So that's why I just refrain from getting mad. That's the only way I know how to
That's
solve
why
it.
you be laughing all the time.
I just like to laugh.
Well, nah,
But
yeah.
when I get like if it's a situation to where I learned just from past experiences, I'll try to diffuse the situation first. Like, you know what, bro? Like, it's good. But then if it get to a certain point, at that point, I know I can't control my anger, and then now it's like
Mhm.
it's something else. And like even I had an episode. I don't even want to call it an episode. That sounds.
I mean,
That sounds.
we all have our days.
Yeah, it was
So
a
you had a
day,
bad day.
and some lady disrespected my mom, and that was like that's one of the things that's
That you don't play with.
like all my fights through from little to up was all if we're talking about each other, like cutting on each other or something like that, and you'd be like, well, your mama is a da 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 da. From that point on, like I don't even know what else is happening because I'm trying to be over here snacking. We got a foot.
He stole the kids' snack.
Look, man, this is parent tax.
He stole the kids'
You know what I'm saying?
snack.
My mom is watching. Shout out to my mom for
Shout out to
watching
moms.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. Love
Yeah,
you,
I
Mom.
told myself Travis, I'm gonna watch my mouth this episode. I'm not gonna go off the ringer. So
On who?
just in general, just because I always be like, nah, I ain't gonna say that, and then who eggs everything on.
Oh,
Nah,
oh, you
hey.
mean like from the last time we was? Oh, yeah.
In general.
But I don't think I asked y'all. Okay, so my mental health check is a real neutral, real good 5.6. What about?
Mine's. I always say if you're a 10, I'm more concerned with you being a 10 than a 1. I don't know why you a 10.
Unless you took a good edible
Yeah,
that one day. You just
something.
happened to be.
But for the moment, right as of right now, I can honestly say I'm about like a 7. And that's because just stuff is just going good right now. For the moment right now, but who say tomorrow it can be a 3. But for right now, the way things is going and the relationship with me and my wife and the kids and everything, it's a solid 7.
That's good.
I'm about
Okay.
a 5'6". It varies. Like when I'm doing my side gigs and side jobs like podcasting, DJing, all that, I'm up there like 7'8" ish. But when I go to my actual job, it goes down a little bit because some of my coworkers I work with make my mental health be. Yeah,
I told her to leave.
I can't just pack up and leave.
She said her
You have a 2-house income, so you can pack
She
up and
said
leave.
her-
I can't just get up and
you
leave.
got a 2-house income.
My mom's income does not become my income.
You stay with her though.
It don't matter. If I have to pack up and leave, my mom will let me
But
know.
I never say quit. I said like go
Yeah.
to another.
That's what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah,
I'm planning
because I
on
was telling her to do that, and
Yeah.
she was like, the principal will block it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, they can't do that. Like, that's got to be illegal.
That's
Block
very
your
illegal.
what?
Like, if she
So,
was
so
to
I
put in
work
an
at school.
application
So I work
somewhere
at a
else.
school, and I'm trying to transfer schools, or at least transfer positions, because some of my coworkers I work with the after school program, and some of my coworkers are very lazy, and they're very toxic, mean girlish, high school mean girl situation. And they're all related, they all live together type thing, nepotism. So I'm trying to move, and one of my other coworkers tried to move to a new position in another school. The principal at the other school said, make sure you get approval from your principal, and the principal pretended to call the other school and was like, oh, that position's been filled when it hadn't been filled. She wanted to keep her there. So I know that's what's going to happen if I try to, especially me, because I'm one of the best people they have. Whenever a sub is absent, I'm the first one they call because I can handle the kids. I know how to control the kids. I take a day off. They don't know what to do. They calling me. You coming back? I just took a day off. I can't take a day off.
I know what that's like.
But I did. I took off Friday. I took my mental health day. I took off Friday.
Yeah,
so
use
whatever they
those.
gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do without
Who
me.
cares?
Goodbye. I was sick with the flu for a week, and they were calling me every day. You sure you coming back? You sure you sick? Like, why would I lie about being sick? I need my days.
You gotta take care
I'm not
of
getting
you.
paid for these days. Like, I need my days.
And y'all get.
We do get 10 paid days, and I haven't used.
Right.
And so far, I think I'm gonna use like 2. So I'm using one
By the end of
Friday.
the year is coming. You better.
I'm using one Friday, so
Tally
I'm proud of
you up.
myself. I'm trying to take more days, but it's hard because everyone else gets to take a day. Because technically, they're not supposed to ask you why you're taking your day. They're not supposed to.
But they do.
You can tell them, but my supervisor asked me 10 questions. What are you taking the day for? Why? Was it because of this? Does that? Does that? It's craziness. I remember I took a day because I had I think it's like a doctor's appointment. And it just so happened 3 days later, a DJ article came out about me. And she was like, oh, so that's why you took the day. So you can go do your DJ article. I'm like, first off, the questions were sent to me via email. I didn't have to take a day. And even if I did, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's just
That's
stuff
crazy.
like that.
Personal days should be personal.
It really
Yeah.
should. And the fact that they used to monitor me all the time, even if I wasn't friends with them, they just found a way to find me on social media and monitor. The week I was out with the flu, I made a promo video saying, hey, I'm sick. I can't make it, but my 2 co-hosts are going to take over for me.
Okay.
I stayed home. And she took that video, was like, oh, so you really not sick, huh? You over here making videos? I'm just like, everything I did was just under.
See, that's where I would need
Stalker
therapy at, because I
So-
would let her have it.
I'm telling you, it's so hard. Like, I'm telling
She
you,
would
like,
have been out her
I
name,
want to
and don't even
say
really do
last
that,
week
but
or
she
two
would've
before last
definitely-
week, one of my coworkers knew something was up. I went to the restroom and just cried it out. She's like, "Go, you okay?" I was like, "I'm not okay."
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
cried it
I've had
out.
those days
I'm
too.
just like,
Trust me.
and it's hard because we try to talk to the principal about it. We try to have conversations, and all she can say is, "Well, your supervisor's trying. She's trying to be the same across the board. She's not trying to show favoritism." It's like, but she is. How do you not show favoritism when your stepsister works with you, your stepsister's boyfriend's best friend works with us? Like, it's just kind of hard. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. What's your mental? That's a lot.
Damn.
We're on the mental health check-in
What's your mental check-in?
scale.
I'm good. I'm strong 8.
Okay.
I
You would have
mean,
said 10. I would have been worried
no,
about the trash.
I'm strong 8. Just, you know,
He only 10 when he got that flu.
I'm
when he got the-
like
when
comfortable
he got
enough to
the
comfortable
antidote.
enough to
When he
chill.
got the antidote.
Nah, not even.
No, she said you're a 10 when you get the antidote.
Well, yeah, but you know, like 8 for me is like a comfortable chill,
Okay.
where like I'm sitting comfortable enough where I don't have to. I'm not worried about shit, but
Right.
worried about shit.
Yeah. It's not stressing you out.
It's not stressing me out.
But it's in the back.
But it's in the back of my mind. Like, okay,
It's
yeah,
not-
I'm still looking out for that. Like I still have make this move, like thinking about the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm alright. I'm eating fruit roll-ups and shit. I'm good.
Yeah, man. We know you the snack guy.
I know he asked me, did I bring snacks today? I was like, we have a guest tonight. I don't want to bring snacks.
That's
I
the
probably won't
perfect
have
time
enough
to
for-
That's the perfect time.
I didn't have
When have
enough
you
for
not
her.
brought
The
snacks when
We got
guests
that big
was
old bag of
It's almost
popcorn.
gone because I've been snacking on it at home.
there?
I've been
Nobody
missing-
want-
That's
you
all
been-
right. I got my water.
You been breathing on
We got
this
good
shit.
conversation. We got a live.
If you are tuned into our live, tell us your mental health check-in as well throughout the
Give
night.
the
Let us know
hands
how you
all in
feel
the
about
bag.
Mental health check-in. 1 to
I do the
10.
cup thing.
10 being
Since y'all-
very.
I've been doing the cup.
Oh, you
Shout out
smooth?
to,
Oh,
Nick.
okay, yeah.
Shout out to Cheryl Meadows. Shout out to
I don't
Urban
know.
Sweet. Shout out to Amazon.
I'm a good 5'6". I'm neutral. I'm all good.
Sam Pluto Show.
Amzai, shout out to
Shout out
them.
to Sam Pluto.
Oh, before we forget, March 18th is our live podcasting show,
Right.
so make sure you save that day so y'all can come out and have some dope fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We got some ideas.
It's gonna be out the box.
Fun. This is definitely gonna be a different one.
And you don't have to dress up this time. I know last time y'all really want to see this one in his white suit.
Right,
That's
man,
why I was
next
happy
time.
he had to
I
work.
got y'all.
I'm happy he had to work. Nobody wants to see you in a white suit, but you can dress down this time.
I was debonair.
Lies. But that's our first topic.
So, speaking of, with mental health and everything, just speaking on the health portion of it, this has been popping up on my TikTok a lot. It's about the conversation of the numbers, the crazy drastic numbers in Black women passing away giving birth than you can say any other nationality. So
Yeah, that's a real thing right now. I do want to shout out the family of Andrika Rogers. She's a young lady that I had the pleasure of growing up with in my neighborhood back home in Fayetteville and Terra Gardens. Just this past Friday, she passed away during
trauma.
that. Yeah. And
Why do y'all
giving
think?
birth to her son. I don't know details, and out of the respect for the family, I won't
Right.
speak on it. But yeah, it's real.
I'm gonna say the reason why I feel like that's going on is one, because the healthcare industry a lot, because I watch a lot of doctor shows, and even though doctor shows are fake, they try to take real situations and make it into the shows. And a lot of Black people are not heard when it comes to problems that they have, especially when they are in pain. They automatically assume you're Black, you're addicted to painkillers, you're not really in pain, we're not going to give you pain meds. I know that's one problem that they have. And there's any situation when you feel like something's wrong with your body and you tell the doctor, they just feel like, oh, you're okay, you're dismissed compared to other races.
No, yeah.
They
Well,
tend
there's a
to,
lot of racism in the medical field as well.
Right,
So,
it is.
well, just in those establishments, somebody of Caucasian descent versus someone who's a man or woman of color, their treatment is different. Nowadays, they are teaching classes on racism in the medical field. I work at a medical school, so it's
Okay.
like I am witnessing to that. There's so many minorities. People need to understand people's well-beings are different. How they grew up is different. How they can maintain resources and medicine and money and all these, everything's not the same. People in Stone is different than
Right.
people on, east side, west side of San Antonio.
Definitely.
So we really have to be conscious of when people are seeking medical attention. It doesn't matter if you can't pay for a service, like have surgery on that man anyway.
Yeah.
If he needs a transplant and he's dying, heal him anyway. Do what you need to do anyway. But it's so unfortunate that's just the society that we're living in. Sometimes they just turn you away.
It's a business too at the same time. So
It is. I've seen recently a lot of women who's been giving birth lately have been doing it at home.
Mhm.
Shout out to the surrogates doing it at home. That's dope. I always told myself I wanted to do it at home. I know medically I
Me
probably won't be
too.
able to,
I thought about that.
but it's like
Doula, get you a doula.
I really want to do that, but I know
intimate setting, have the
because
candles,
I
have
know
music.
I can't because of my blood type and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. I know I can't, but that'd be dope if I could. I would love to.
do a home birth,
I would.
like a water birth,
birth.
right? Is water birth?
I've watched them on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I would love to
Yeah.
do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, my wife was watching. don't know, some series on Netflix. I want to say it was like from back in the day though. A lot of they're not, I guess surrogates, right? Yeah,
Midwives. What they call
midwives. It was like a show based off of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, golly, that just like that was the norm
It was.
back then. It wasn't, all this that we have now. And then I've seen like holistic doctors that's also talking about like the way that they give birth. Like it's almost like you're going against gravity, the way you land.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, they cut the umbilical cord right away. So your child is not getting those last nutrients from the contractions. That can separate them from basically being a genius to being autistic.
Yeah.
Just that little procedure right there. And then I heard it's like a process to get the what is it called? Placenta.
Yeah.
It's like it's a hassle. Like some people have to almost go to court for it. I'm like, but they use that for stem cell research.
Yeah.
So and we already know.
Some people eat it.
Some people make it into pills and eat it.
Yeah.
Food.
Well, we know who's doing it. We know who's doing it. Who's buying these stem cells like
who's doing it?
White people.
Shout out to Cheryl Meadows. She's tuned in.
See, Travis, they always ask me the second question.
Shout out to Cheryl Meadows. She's tuned in. She's the wife of Vicky Sweet, who you just met not too long ago. She said she almost had a doula with her first child.
I had a midwife with my son.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She did not deliver my son, but just throughout the process, every doctor's visit, she was there just prepping me. But yeah.
That's right. Question.
See, if I had
kind
to go
of
to
a
the
hard
hospital
question,
after I gave birth, I would love to do it at home. I'm telling you, I would just love to just be at home.
I got a hard question for y'all.
In
that situation.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What was you about to say?
I love hard questions.
Okay, so in that situation, right? Who I know it's different from if me and Travis choice and y'all choice.
In
the situation is who are you saving?
Yourself.
Or who you want to be saved.
Or the kid.
Right.
I actually asked my king, we had this conversation like, babe, if there's a situation where it was a matter between life and death, he said me. He can't get another me, but we can make another baby.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a lot of men outlook on it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like my wife was like, save the baby. And I'm like, nah, if it's not in paper, I'm saving you.
Yeah.
If it's not written out,
definitely saving you. You can be mad at me later,
See, my mom said yourself.
Right.
See, I feel like my answer would be different only because I know my body. I know what I go through, what I've been through. So I would say save the baby because one, I know it'd be harder for me to have a baby already. Number two, 9 times out of 10, that something was to happen to me or the baby, it's probably because my blood's connected. So if y'all don't know, I'm gonna give y'all a story. So I'm always negative. If you don't know what that means that my blood and the baby's blood connect to each other, one of us is not gonna live, which is crazy.
Like long term.
Long term. So like, if I was to get pregnant, about want to say 36 weeks, I have to get a shot. That helps that, and then after I have the baby, you have to get another shot. So. And the doctor was explaining it to me somehow. If the baby's blood and my blood mixed together, one of us is dying. It's going to be bad. Wow. Always negative is very rare. In order for you to get it, one parent has to be positive, one parent has to be negative. I know my mom's negative, but my mom never heard of it. So my dad must be positive somehow. It's very rare to get. I'm the only one out of my siblings who has it. Only found out by, because, for the longest, females, we don't love going to the doctor. We don't like doing that. I don't know what it's about Black people and doctors. We don't like going, but we try to get better at that.
You have to fight through it.
You have to fight through it and get better.
So taking care of
when I got to the age when I started going to see a doctor, my OGBGYN, that's when I found out about it. I didn't know nothing about it. I found out about that. I found out that I had a tilted uterus, which I didn't know that either. So you find out a lot.
That's new. I didn't know they can tell.
A tilted uterus means like it's going to be painful when you have sex, which is I kind of see certain positions. I'd be like, man, this ain't it. Certain positions I be in pain. I either go through it and I won't say nothing. They be like, you in pain? You didn't say nothing. I'm like, no, I just went through it. It's okay.
No, don't do that.
But yeah,
right, freak.
No, don't do that.
That's not a freak. It's not like that.
It's pain free. dying over
But
here.
it's
She
one
did.
thing.
No,
orgasm and
And
dying.
no, it's not like stop. It's like a shoot. It's like a shooting. It's like a weird shooting. But it's good. I don't do it all the time.
It's like a sharp, like a pain, like
kind of
a.
like a sharp pain, but I don't do it all the time. Just sometimes. But yeah,
You don't do what all the time?
let the pain go through.
Oh.
Like it's weird. Like once that pain, I be like, oh no,
Like it
stop,
comes
stop,
and
stop.
goes.
Yeah, it
pain
depends,
comes
like I
and
said,
goes.
it depends on the position. Like usually if I'm like, usually if I bent up like a
Is your mom
like a
watching
desk or
this?
something, even if she is, she knows about my tilted uterus and what it means. to
I'm
be
talking about you
painful,
finna
so-
describe what position.
Oh, she don't watch. She don't
Oh,
tune
okay.
into the show because every time she tunes in, she feels like we're not experts. We shouldn't have a podcast.
Dang,
She's
mama.
one of them people. She's
Well,
like,
bring
yeah.
her on here.
She's one of them people. So like for instance, like if I was bent over like a desk like this, that would be a painful position like that sometimes. Like laying on my back sometimes.
That's my-
like that.
Well,
That's
first
my
of all,
first
I will
time
say
ever
this:
seeing it.
thank you for being vulnerable and sharing.
Oh,
because
you
there are.
I know
a lot
my. I know
of
my.
women-
They look at me
There
like.
are a lot
My
of
sister's
women.
big. But yeah.
That's why I'm here to.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because like every time I go see my doctor, my doctor like reminds me. Did I ever tell you you have a? Yes, you told me.
That can't be fixed.
You told me. No, it's nothing that can be fixed. You can. I looked it up online to try to get more research about it. I don't know how you get it. If that's
Everyone's
equally
like-
What Travis what?
Travis is just like. They look at me like they're sisters. So they probably look at me like.
It's great for you sharing because there's so many women
That's probably going
suffer
through it and
and
don't
they
even
don't
know.
say anything, and we have to stop suffering in silence
Travis.
when we are going through something, whether it be emotional, physical, mental. But most important thing, and my mom said yes, you have
See,
to.
even shows like. you
My
always
mom
negative.
just said
Yeah.
you just have to go to the doctor. Go to a doctor that you like.
Yeah.
But
I
it's also
finally found one
important
that I like.
for us to have partners and spouses, people that we are close to in that proximity, to understand
Yeah.
and know our bodies.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing when you're with someone that understands your physical attribute and your physique and everything concerning you, where there's no judgment.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever talked about this with any of your
That's a good question.
like if you saying you in pain, have you ever told them why though?
Yeah.
No, instead of me saying like I'm in pain, what I usually do is
Like you ain't
like,
tell Batista that.
no, no. But I didn't feel pain with him like that.
Oh.
See, I think it started like I want to say the pain started like because I guess like the positions we would do when we really be in pain like that. I don't know, but I didn't really
He
feel it
was
with
a
him.
basic positioner. Lay on your side, babe.
Oh my God. Don't listen to that. No, but instead of me saying, "Oh, I'm in pain," what I
Hey, man,
do is just
oh, shit, bro. Like,
I'm
Shout out
with
to
you
Batista.
guys.
Oh, okay. Cheryl Middle said that her and her daughter has tilted uterus too. So it.
So it's
that's a common thing.
is it common?
I won't say it's too common, but
I've never heard of this. This
That's
is
three
new.
people
We gotta-
in less
we
than
gotta
like.
do our research.
yeah. So
10 minutes,
so with
I
the
find out
pain,
I
instead
got
of me
tilted.
telling someone I'm in pain, what I usually do is I either like push them up a little bit to ease the pain, or I like switch positions. And then that now depending on who it is, like now the last person I talked to, because we talked to for a long time, I did let him know like, hey, let you know certain positions do cause a little pain a little bit. Just let you know. Oh, she said it is pretty common. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I do let them
never heard
know
of it.
certain positions is painful. Now with the other part, the always negative part, I really don't come out and say it unless they bring up, oh, eventually I want to have kids. If they bring that up, and that's when I let them know, hey, just let you know, I do want to have kids, but it's gonna be hard. But they don't bring up having kids.
What is
like,
your plan B in having kids?
if that doesn't work?
Right. Like, are you like,
Um,
what is it called when you have if somebody
Surrogacy
surrogacy.
or adoption?
Adoption is one. I'm not open to. I'm not like opposed to surrogacy. I never really thought about it.
You gotta be careful with adoption. You might adopt.
You never
The
know what
next
you're gonna
one.
get when you adopt. But also, I can always adopt my
Adopt
nieces
what?
though.
Oh yeah, you can do
You know, I
that.
got nieces.
You
I
You
can
might
adopt.
adopt the next one. You know, you don't know. You don't know what them kids. You know,
You never know what they go through.
generational trauma carries
Cause
on.
there be
you know.
some, cause there's some kids I work with that's like, man, I just take you home if I have the chance, cause it's
Kids?
at the school that I work with.
Oh, with
Yeah.
them kids.
Yes, no, because some of the kids, not all. I said some.
Oh.
There's some that you like, like
Yeah.
a little bit of their background, and they're a good kid, and you like,
Yeah,
your
they
mom
just
just
in a-
take you
in a
home.
bad
You just
environment.
need a better, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got people that they deserve second chances, especially
It
kids, and it's a whole bunch of stuff goes on in the foster homes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've heard some
a lot of
horror stories and
molestation and abuse.
Yeah, a lot of that's the main thing I hear is abuse.
So my mom did say they have a procedure that will correct your tilted uterus. You just have
Oh.
to consult with your doctor.
There we go. See, we're getting
Man, we
somewhere.
really got some knowledge. Though.
Right.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and ask my wife. Your uterus good? You tilted?
you do.
I'm gonna be like, what
Why
the
the
hell
way
are you
you
talking
said
about?
it? You do
Don't let anyone say, oh, there's nothing that we can do. No, there's something that they
No,
can
but I
do.
never really asked. I just assumed. I never
Yeah,
asked.
you
I
gotta-
assumed. I
you
never really
gotta-
asked.
and you're young.
Because the doctor never told me there was nothing I could do. He just said you have a tilted uterus and that's gonna be painful
Here we go.
when you have sex.
And
That's all
he
they said.
never talked to you about an action plan on how to.
No, but every time I go, he wants to bring it up. Did I tell you? Yes, you told me. You told me
Yeah, it is a doctor.
he's Asian Chinese man.
Well, that, like,
Damn, Jackie. Chan.
like no.
He is a little Jackie.
okay.
Stop
All
it.
right.
Yeah, nah, we're not doing
That's
that.
why it's important. We gotta find.
But
I do want to change to black doctor.
there is a real thing about their bedside manner.
It is.
Their bedside manner is not the best.
Exactly.
I wanted to
what
go.
you mean?
The doctor I wanted to go to was the doctor that delivered me.
They're not
My mom was like, nah, I don't know why.
from experience, and this is the probability, not the possibility.
Okay.
I've had one Asian doctor. She was a dentist. She was like the nicest ever.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see what you said.
But
Yeah.
okay, remember?
I've had two
you ever
Asian
seen Knocked
doctors.
Up?
Yeah.
Okay, Kim.
Yeah.
Him. His when they finally got to go into the doctor to get that baby delivered, he ended up being her doctor. It wasn't her regular doctor. How he bucked at her.
Mm-hmm. That's
like it get
the
like
mannerism.
that. Yeah, it get like that.
Oh, okay.
Like that was truth in the joke.
Yeah, it's always.
But he can do it because he's
Asian. I've witnessed. So at my kid's dentist office, the head person, one of the head persons, he's African, and their attitudes is the same. Like
my PCM at the VA is nice dude, nice guy.
he seems but he's like he's kind of like
some of it's kind of condescending.
Yes,
it's a very condescending tone.
Right. So him as assistant, he told her to write something down, but she was doing something else. So when he asked her about it, she was like, "Oh, I forgot to write it down." He said, and like he like literally stopped and turned and was like, "Well, what are you doing? What are you here for? Like, write it down. You're supposed to be writing it down." And he goes back, and you can see her like she was a Hispanic chick, and you can see her kind of like I'm like. So when he left, I'm like, "Is he like that all the time?" She was like, "Yeah, he's like a dick." And I was like, ah. So the next time we just went to the dentist office, he's the dentist, and he didn't act like that time. He was boom, 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 joking with the kids and stuff.
I guess
so
it depends.
My
first,
it was a history between them.
My first OGB by him was a black man, and he was scared of my mom. He was scared. He was scared.
That's true.
Well, be like that.
Especially, so with you saying, and one of your topics that you had mentioned was relationships, healthy relationships. So I wanted to know. First, I wanted to know what would be your definition of a healthy relationship, and is it a difference between back then, I guess the 50s and 60s, and their healthy relationship, and the newer,
the social media age.
Yeah, the social media age type relationships.
Sure. Yes. So I had mentioned healthy relationships. I used to actually blog for New York Magazine. Shout out to El Barrio Magazine in New York City.
Okay.
I used to blog for them, and I used to give off healthy relationship tips back in 2012.
Okay.
There's a huge difference. Generations have changed. We went from 1960s to 1940s, where a lot of women, they were just in the homes.
Mm-hmm.
To now we're in a whole nother era where there's a lot more women working.
Millionaire.
A lot more women who feel like they don't need a man in the house. That has to stop. I don't like that. I'm against it.
We found one.
Hold on.
I'm against it too.
I'm against that.
I've never been.
Yeah, I'm very like devil's advocate. My way of thinking has changed. A healthy relationship is when one, you and your partner are able to discuss whatever, whenever, however, when you're vulnerable with each other. A healthy relationship is when nobody else knows that y'all going through a bad patch. Just y'all know about
When
it.
y'all beefing, no one knows.
A healthy relationship is when you can fix whatever it is that you're going through. A healthy relationship is when you are praying together, when you are seeking wise counsel, when you are laughing, when you are, yes, you're going to have rough patches. Everything's not going to be the honeymoon stage, but you do have to find ways to navigate through every level and every layer and loving your person into their purpose. That is what a healthy relationship is. Yes, we have to stick together through thick and thin, the ups and downs, all of the challenges. But you have to come back and find your way back to each other.
Yeah.
Love is a commitment. Love is a choice. Love is not, oh well, I'm mad at you, I want to break up, we're done.
That wasn't love.
That's not love.
Right.
Love is not going back to your homegirls, telling your homegirls what your man did, or what your wife did, or what your boo did, and getting their 2 cents. And now you have all these people in your ear. That's not healthy. If anything, they're projecting everything onto you, and now you're projecting all of that onto your partner, into your household, and that's what you don't want. So there is a huge difference from where we are now to where we were back then, because Big Mama and great great granddaddy, they was going through some things. You know, you have women really out here paying for abortions. Okay, you have husbands having babies on their wives.
Yeah.
That's
That was
And the
definitely
that is wild to
And
me.
some
That
of
was
the
definitely,
wives
like, common.
are staying because it's their choice, and we may not know why, but that is a very personal choice.
I can stay.
And I don't judge nobody's situation because you never know what
Yeah,
you'll do.
I'm not judging, but I can stay.
I think back then though, it was
Was it creamy?
Cream ice cream. That was
Okay.
I think we were still recording.
Yeah, we are. We back. We still recording. I like that.
Mike.
We back.
I can't hear you.
Okay, try to hear.
Yeah, there we go.
So we back. We back.
Yo.
Yeah. So before we was really interrupted by Rudy, I was saying about what you were saying about the choice. Why they stayed, we don't know why. And I think the avenues now for women are, like you say, they making their own money and stuff. So it's, I think for some relationships, they got that gateway where they could just bounce. They ain't really second guessing nothing. They just leave, if they want to.
At any moment.
Yeah, versus back then, if you leave, it's kind of like I'm going to provide. That was the big thing. And like we were saying, we didn't know what Papa was doing. We didn't know what. I mean, a lot of the men was factory workers and truck drivers. So yeah, they probably was doing their thing. We don't know what Granny was doing either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like whatever they was doing, they was holding it down for 40, 50 years. And that I don't.
A lot of understandings where you have, now they turn into roommates.
Right.
You got that granddaddy downstairs, and they have your grandmother down the hall. They're no longer in the same bed.
My granny and my papa.
Oh, I've seen that.
They did
So-
I seen it with my mom and dad. So when my younger sister came along, I was like, "How?"
We're not doing that.
I'm like,
I think
where she
my
come
grandpa
from?
was.
Where she come from?
My grandpa was. He fought in World War One. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Not, I don't even know if he did that. I wouldn't. But as far as them separating the rooms and stuff, like I think he was.
Oh, like he was gone. Like he was kind
Like he was like we used to go to the store in our neighborhood, the Hill store, and it was ran by Asians. He did not like. He didn't even go in the store. He stood by the door. While we got candy and stuff like that, he stood by the store and he kept his eye on them. But that's his trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, and he had his room was set up like the military. He had a cot. It wasn't even really a bed. He had a dresser, a TV, and a nightstand. That was it. He didn't have nothing else in it. And the gun under his bed. It was a RoboCop gun. I swear to God, it's a RoboCop.
So my dad slept in the guest room.
It had all kinds of stuff on it, but that
My mom
was
said
it. My
it's
granny's
because he
room
snores.
was a feminine presence. Like we can go in there. She had the high bed, like this high, with 60 covers on it. We go in there.
See, I saw that with my
but-
grandparents as they got older.
You said what?
I saw that with my grandparents, but they were like old.
You slept over there?
No, like I saw them sleeping in separate bedrooms as they got
Oh.
older.
That's all I remember. And I live with you.
And my grandpa was ex-military too, but that's just how it was. But I don't think it was infidelity with my grandparents. I think that's just an older thing when they got older.
He could be.
So we
He could be
never
a snorer.
know where.
Yeah. My dad is a snorer. He is, but I'm just saying.
I don't care how.
If my
bad
dad snores and y'all sleeping in separate bedrooms, where my
I'm
younger
not leaving
sister
the
come
bed.
from?
Right.
Explain that to me.
I'm laying next to you.
Mom, Dad, explain that. Where my younger sister come from?
Explain what?
No, I'm just saying. All
You're
my life,
asking too many
I seen them
questions.
sleeping in
You
separate
went wrong for a
bedrooms.
Yeah, you
So I'm
can grow up for a
Where
bit.
my younger sister come from? He ain't snore that much for y'all to get it on.
He snuck over there.
He stuck down the hallway.
Down the hallway.
No, we're not doing
They
that.
still don't sleep as well?
They're not together. They don't work.
Oh.
They don't
Your grandma and grandpa?
No, my mom and dad.
Oh, I'm about to say, dang, what?
No,
They used to
No, they
separate
passed
men?
away. My grandparents passed
Oh, okay. Okay. Your mom and your dad said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back what you said, I feel like now we have social media. You know, you remember back in the early 2000s where we were dating, we had like a high school boom or whatever. There was no social media. There was no Facebook. There was no, you know,
No one be in
This all
your
the time.
business to tell you.
it was now you have social media. Now you see relationship goals and what people think relationship goals is. It's like, how can you stay faithful? Can you stay in a committed relationship? Can you have intellectual conversations?
Right.
I also feel like back in the day too, it was easier for people to hide.
Well,
in
yeah.
my relationship. Like if I was cheating on you, you ain't gonna find out. Back in the day, it was harder. But now with social
Define
media,
back in the day. Like, well, how far are we talking?
I had said 50s
MySpace
and 60s.
age.
Oh, the 50s and 60s.
That's what I
That's
had.
you said.
You said your age?
I said MySpace age.
Well, prior.
Oh yeah, MySpace.
So,
Yeah, I'm
A
like,
little before, like
social
when
media, what you
MySpace
was-
first started, like before that. But it was hard for people. Like if someone was cheating
talking
on
about
you,
right before MySpace. Started.
Yeah, like-
okay, yeah, I was like,
if someone
MySpace, I'm like,
if someone
people
cheating on
in
you,
your business on MySpace.
if people cheating, if someone's cheating on you or you cheating on them, it's harder for them to know. Cause then no pictures. But nowadays,
No,
like you
pictures
said-
was in then. Back in the
But
day,
still-
I had a.
No. Okay.
My wife made me throw.
No. Let's say you took a picture of someone.
Yeah,
You take a picture of someone, but you're not posting on social media. But now,
Oh,
since you're
yeah.
posting on social, someone's gonna see that. But I was with that boy last week.
So I don't know if y'all
I
was
was
this
with
was y'all
so-and-so.
thing or not growing up, but like say you remember image shot was like
At the mall?
At the mall, those was like in.
I
And you
remember
know,
that background.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
get the pictures and then you get to school, you get you
Yeah,
pass them out. So I had a whole bunch of females on my wall. I just had them up on my wall.
And
And
your wife
me and my
made them
girl got serious. Like she was like, "You gotta take them down." I'm like, "They just pictures." She like, "Nah,
I recently
Nah, bro.
I
take
recently
them down."
saw a whole bunch of pictures people gave me when they were couples. I'm like, they're not even together no more. They're not together no more. They're not together. It was high school.
But that was the thing. That was
the
so
thing. When you got together with someone, you go take a picture.
pre-social media. That's how you establish people knowing you was in a
You
relationship.
go take a
Y'all
picture
take
at the
pictures
mall.
together and then you pass them out. Yeah, this is my girl. You
Y'all
write
dress
something on the
together.
back.
Y'all have that blue background,
Right.
red background with the
Football
hearts.
jerseys on and stuff.
With the
Yeah,
hearts.
that was how you. Now it's just relationship status or
But some people don't
relationship goals.
But some people don't even do that either, because there's people who in relationships, if you see their profile, it still says single, like they keep it under a low profile. Like
I think those
or they don't put the identity at all. You know,
Oh
like
yeah.
my Facebook doesn't say anything about me in a relationship, but I am
Like in your
actively
bio?
committed,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
But privacy.
That's your privacy. Yeah.
But my thing is, there's a difference between being private and secret.
There is.
Because we talked about this, right? Where it's okay to post here and there, but if you're not posting at all, is it because they want to keep you a secret, or you just want to be quiet?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I've
this
heard
is
that.
where you have to have a conversation of expectations. Like, hey, what are we doing? Do we want to share?
Mhm.
What are some things that we want to share, and what are some things that we want to keep to ourselves? Yeah, we do things. We go out in public, you know, we do dates,
Yeah.
but everything we do is not on social media,
Right.
you know. Everybody has their reasons for it. 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of therapists out there that will help couples, premarital counseling or divorce lawyers, and there is 100% like it's just unacceptable. Social media is a big factor in why people are divorcing. Social media is popping up.
Not just divorce, the way they talk to each other when it comes to child custody. I just work at a law firm. I see it a lot. You have to go through their pages. And
The
it's
social
just-
media page?
Yeah. Especially if that's where you communicate with your significant other. If it's more than
Oh,
just
like
text
Messenger or
messages.
something like that.
Not just that too, some of the posts, because sometimes you have those baby mamas or baby daddies who make those statuses talk about men ain't ish and tag their baby daddy or their
That's
baby
See,
mom.
I don't.
Or they share a
I
status
don't
of
like
someone saying that I don't need no man and they tag their significant
See,
other.
that's the new.
That could be
That's
used
the new
against
age
you.
way of.
Parenting.
I don't even call that parenting. I don't even know really what that is. I don't even know what to
telling
call
your
it.
business,
Telling you
and then
Right.
they're mad if you asking about it.
because I did that.
Well,
I'm
you
not gonna
gotta
lie.
Get out my business.
With
What you
Batista,
posting.
when we first broke up, I was so upset that
You
I
see
ain't
all
gonna
that
lie.
picture?
Huh?
You see all that picture?
That was his Facebook picture. No, I can't access it.
No, you can't go
No.
to his page
No.
and see.
No.
You know his name?
Yes.
What's his name?
No, we're not gonna do that.
No.
No.
Like,
No.
you see it, she-
Yeah, because like
No.
we've thrown that name out
Yeah,
at least
nobody
4
knows who
times.
People just admit. So it's
And
one of
I
my
feel like
exes.
Okay.
We're not gonna go to that. It's one
I
of
feel
my
like she
exes.
needs to see it.
And
Does she
when
watch
I was-
wrestling? You watch wrestling?
You know Batista?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I watch wrestling.
So,
All right.
I
Cool.
grew
so
up
when I
with
first,
her.
so when we first broke up because he cheated on me with his coworker,
No, you got.
I was
what's
so
his name?
upset and mad that I just started posting different like heartbreak statuses and tagging it with it.
Cheaters cheat.
Like
Oh, you
a
were
whole
making
bunch.
heartbreak statuses when you was tagging them in it?
Yes, like I was sharing like all those heartbreak posts, those quotes, and tagging them in it.
Oh,
Like you
okay.
did me wrong. Ooh, this
This
How
is
long
like,
ago was it?
oh, it was long ago. That's when we first broke up.
Yeah.
I was doing all like, you cheating on me,
Yeah, 'cause
whatever.
it was like 2
Any
years ago.
cheat
You
codes I
showed
could
it.
find, I shared it. I wasn't even looking them up. They just happened to pop up. I guess Facebook knew I was going through it, and it popped up, and I was sharing it, tagging them in it. I even had one as my status. That's how bad it was. And then when I realized the next day, I realized, and I just took it all down. We are not looking them up. Oh my god. Oh.
That's one thing that I'm against is telling your personal business on social media. I don't care what it is I'm going through. I'm not putting it out there. If I share it with you, it's because I want you to know. So
Funny thing is,
that's like a no for me.
my wife doesn't even follow me on social media. She unfollowed me. She said, your post is just, it's too much for me, and I'm just gonna unfollow you. I'll just check on you every now and then. So
You changed his profile to that
like,
girl.
babe, something happened. She be like,
Oh,
I
and
don't
he's
want to hear it.
engaged. He's
Facebook
engaged.
jail. She like, what'd you say? I be like, I didn't even say that. She be like, nah. This is why I don't follow you. You found it?
I'm gonna take all his pictures.
Yeah, again, conversation. I'm not doing all that. I don't have to do that. I'm not putting my personal business out on Facebook. I'd rather just keep that between me and my person. So, is that him?
That's a better
You
picture.
used to look like
That one
Miguel
don't
to me.
see.
That's what draw me to
Okay.
him. I thought you looked like Miguel.
Shit, man, he
They
walked
say
alone.
You gotta
They say
show me.
Batista. Show him the picture. Show him the picture.
Ah. Was that the picture you? That wasn't the picture you
Yes,
showed
it
us.
was.
This is the picture you
That's
showed.
the
That's why I'm
That one
laughing,
even
bro.
look. It's been a minute.
Okay, is this him now?
Yeah,
Okay.
he still looks the same.
But tell me he don't look like Batista.
I can see where you would say Batista, but
See, when he
That
first,
is
when I
She
first met
said-
him, he looked like Miguel. That's what drew me to him.
Yeah.
She said Miguel, and we all looked at the picture. I said,
Nah.
he look like
the
Batista.
skin tone, the hair.
If he
Nah.
was
Big,
big,
black, and Asian.
Okay.
if he was
And he's
big,
Filipino. He had Filipino, and Batista had Filipino.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Put them side by side.
Oh no.
No.
No, I'm definitely putting this side by side.
Anyway, so while we still on the topic of healthy relationships, our next topic we have is Chris Brown, Chris Breezy. We all know, baby, yeah.
I'm a fan of Chris.
Bring it over my way.
You know what you did to me. Anyway, so if you don't know, I'm over here talking like there's a mic right here. Look at me.
You are. You've been doing that for a minute too.
Shut up. But if you don't know what's going on with Mr. Chris Brown lately, he's been taking to social media, giving his frustrations on how he's still being punished for what he did back in the day, and he called out everybody who did something to the extent of what he did, and is still flourishing. And he wants to know why is he still getting punished while other actors, actresses, singers, musicians are still flourishing. R. Kelly being one, because I feel like he's still flourishing.
And he about to get out.
He is, and he's about to get out. So do you feel
That's
like
that wild.
That's wild.
So and he's about to have a baby on the way, or he had a baby on the way. One of the two.
What?
I guarantee you,
But
the
do you-
first show's gonna be sold out.
It
It
is.
is.
But do you feel like, and not only is it gonna be
Even
showed
if he did
out,
a world, even if he did like a world tour,
not only will it be showed out,
He's
that is-
definitely going on.
not only
tour.
will it be sold
or Dallas or San Antonio for a show, I'm going.
R. Kelly is.
You say you going?
R. Kelly is.
Man.
I guess just me being real. I'm going.
He's a, what's the word? Polarizing. I ain't gonna say he's bigger than Michael Jackson, but he's like big like Michael Jackson.
He is. But I just
Oh,
want to
R.
know.
Kelly.
He is. But I just want to know your thoughts. Do you feel like Chris Brown should still be? I want to know all your thoughts. Do y'all feel like Chris Brown should still be punished for something he did so long ago? Especially recently when it came to the award show when he was supposed to
Think
do
about
the
it.
Michael Jackson tribute, and they was
They
at him
canceled
because
it.
one, Chris
That
Brown was
yeah,
known
that
as
was-
a
that was-
domestic violence, and Michael Jackson was on pedophile, so they
I
they
was
should not
hurt.
mix.
And I'm like, why?
And Michael
But they
Jackson
let him
family
perform
chose
at
him.
One year, the BET
Awards, remember?
Yeah,
And they would let him do
Crying?
it.
And Michael Jackson chose him to do the tributes, right? And they like,
What I don't get is, let's say, okay, yeah, I don't like the fact that they're just acting like Rihanna had no part in it,
That was my point. That was the point I was. Gonna
and she
bring
just
up.
performed at the Super Bowl.
Pregnant at all.
1.8 million people, 83 million people, or something like that.
she performed because you gotta keep your side man quiet. You don't want the
Who's the side man?
Oh, sorry, man.
Jay-Z?
you know she's still
No.
she's still sleeping with Jay-Z. They didn't want that to come out that they still sleeping.
Allegedly.
So Jay-Z's
We're not
like, I'm
there.
gonna let
I've
you perform
never heard
if you stay quiet. I'll let
I've
you
never
perform.
heard that.
You
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Not like recently. I like what you talking about right now. I ain't heard that.
I've heard that. So
Now there was speculation
So,
back in the gap
if
when
you
she
wanna-
first came around
gotta
or
find-
whatever. And
you want me to tell us about
That wouldn't be
Jay-Z?
shocking though.
that wouldn't be
No,
shocking.
she
But here's the
told us,
thing
I'll
though.
let you perform.
So speaking of Chris Brown, right? This chick from back in the gap named Jaguar Wright has been
Yeah,
searched,
yeah.
right?
I watch
Apparently,
her video.
okay, so
She's a-
Yeah, I've been
apparently
watching her interview.
she let the I don't know who this woman's sources are. I have no idea.
Well,
She was in the industry.
Well, you
She
know
was
Beyonce's bodyguards fuck up too.
Yeah, but she was in the industry. I get it, but I'm saying when it comes to
Certain stuff.
if you think about it, all the polarizing shit that's been going on, she has knowledge of
Right.
in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Now, one thing I do rock with on wholeheartedly is her take on Mr. Combs, Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I rock with 50 when 50 says it.
yeah,
50's been saying it. Nobody just
Side
he's
listens to
been
him.
saying it.
Side
Now,
note, if you go to TikTok, there's a Surviving Chris Stokes documentary. Yeah.
What?
Go ahead and check that out. Surviving Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston. Check that out.
Wow.
yeah, we're gonna come back to that.
We know what he did though. I think the dude from B2K was.
But Raz been
Yeah.
But it wasn't just
So-
Raspy, Lil Fizz, and someone else. It's like a couple of them coming out on the surviving.
It starts off with P Diddy, then it goes down to Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston. If you go to TikTok, it tells you all of it. The more you know, the more you TikTok.
All right,
TikTok
we
will tell
continue.
you that.
We gonna
Yeah, we gotta check that
put a
out.
pin in that one. But with Chris, but like with Chris, apparently that incident where they were leaked in the Lamborghini and all that, and how it all went down. It was I think it was a Grammy party at Clive Davis's house.
Yeah.
And apparently Chris walked in on her topping somebody off.
Oh.
And he was like, "You always, fucking something." That's what Jaguar is saying. I just came across a video today,
Tag me in.
and I'm gonna find him again.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And he left up out, and that's when she chased that. She chased after him, and what I'm saying, and the whole incident happened in the car, the whole night like that. But then I remember when this first happened. When this first came out, the more like it was all over the papers. I'm like, whoa. I was talking to my homeboy who was in the Navy. He's still in the Navy, but he had just gotten in the Navy at the time. And I don't know how he where this narrative came up, but the narrative she ruined this boy before his life could really get started.
He
Saying
was young, right? Like,
no, saying that she passed off an STD to him. Talking about passing off, I think it was like passing off herpes to him. But everybody knew who she been messing with, and it links back to Jay.
Ah.
I don't know how true this is.
Yeah.
But that's the second time. And this is what we in 2023. That was in 2008.
Yeah.
That happened.
With the Rihanna and Chris?
Yeah, that was 2008. We in
It was a
2023.
minute ago.
Why?
It was a minute ago.
That's the second time. The first time was just a conversation between me and my homeboy.
Mhm.
The very second time I hear that narrative is from her.
And then what else is crazy too is out of all people, Beyonce is quick to cancel a female for what
Right.
they did. She hasn't canceled it.
She
If
can't.
they all into it, it's a threesome. They all into it. It's a threesome.
Look, if that's what they doing, I don't. That's. I
What they
don't
doing?
care.
They bedroom ain't got
It's-
nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
I
I
just
You know
don't
what I'm saying? That's like why
She
she's not
does.
canceled
What is
yet.
it called?
She canceled a lot of people. That was
Non-disclosure, right? That's what she always says.
Beyonce.
You gotta
That's why
sign. You
Carrie
gotta
Hilson
sign
doesn't
a.
have a
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
She's always saying that. You gotta sign a non-disclosure
Candy with Candy too. That's why they're hitting up about Candy.
from
Escape.
Escape.
Because she does like Candy clothing nights and
Well,
dungeons.
she's
and
a
all
freak. She
that. So
says
that's why
she's
she
out
had
there.
the non-disclosures too.
Yeah, she's already said she's out there. Though. I mean, that's if that works for y'all relationship.
Now, who
by all
needs to have a
means, but-
non-disclosure is Tiny and Tia. Whatever y'all be doing, y'all need to
Yeah,
get
I'm
to
not
sign
doing
some
all
paper.
that.
It's so many people. Well, hey, when you're around Atlanta is like a black county.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to LA, Hollywood industry, there's so much that is available to you.
Yeah.
Easy access to everything. So yeah, there's a lot of temptation, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot I mean, I don't know if I probably don't remember these 50, like Studio 54, that
I've
era.
heard. Yeah.
I heard about it.
Everybody was in that club from Michael Jackson to
That's
Yeah.
what James.
Everybody was in that
Mick
club.
Jagger.
Bill Cosby.
Everybody was there.
Where everybody was
Because
there.
it was
You ain't even
I'm saying
gotta
with-
rattle off names. Everybody was there, bro.
it was an escape, and I'm a huge fan of documentaries. So
Yeah, me
I
too.
love documentaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Studio 54 is on Netflix. Look it up.
Oh,
but
I gotta check that out.
What it's called Studio 54?
Studio 54.
On Netflix.
I gotta look that up. I gotta
Documentary on Studio 54.
Yep.
Definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Because Rick James skit told me
It
everything.
just talks
Is
about the
anything like
rise and
that?
the fall. It talks about the rise and the fall of
That's all
Studio
these together.
54
Yeah.
and what went down. You have so many levels of this club.
Yeah.
You have levels where they were giving drugs.
Yeah.
We got a level of where it was one of the bedrooms where people were having sex.
Mm.
And you had the dance floor. It was an adult playground. It was an escape for people. So that's a whole different era. But
That was the 80s.
I don't think, going back to the question about Chris Brown, I don't think that he needs to continue to get punished. He's already
Suffered a lot.
he's already suffered. He's already worked so hard, tremendously hard, to get his career back.
Right.
And I really feel like he's amazing at what he does. I love his music. I love his art.
And also, the
He
women
was
that he
fine.
dealt with are not holding it against him anymore.
And
They
he
didn't
was
move past.
17.
They didn't
He
move
was
past.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Some of his
It was good when
ex-girlfriends are seeing, there's videos you seeing them jamming to his music. They have moved past it. They're like, I forgave him.
And then didn't they get back together?
Yeah.
We ain't got
Yeah,
to
like
cool,
a
but,
year or so after that. Like
They got
Chris
back
and
together
Rihanna
for a
got back
little.
together like 2
They
years
did.
after that.
and even now, they might not be like buddies, but they're like, I forgive you. Let's move on.
Yeah, like you go your way, I go my way, like this, like that whole thing.
I really, but when that happened, I really felt like they were forced to break up because she was really hurt. She really loved him. I do highly believe that she loved him.
Yeah.
Even when she did that interview with Oprah Winfrey, she really wholeheartedly loved him. But like when you're both in the spotlight like that, and there's proof and evidence that you beat me up, and you had to go to jail, and it's
Yeah.
you know, it's very unfortunate. But they were young.
And we talked about this on our show a lot, how people want to hold Chris Brown accountable, but yet lately there's some incidents been going on where females been accusing him of stuff, and it came out that the females were lying, but they're not holding them accountable. They're like, oh,
like I remember when
It's
they
a
like,
different standard for
what
sure.
was it when
like I
that
remember
girl
when
came?
SWAT, like
Yeah,
LAPD
I was just
SWAT,
about to say that.
Because
like-
the girl broke into his house or something.
and tried to
like
say
that.
like he,
Tried to say,
like,
yeah,
he
held
held a hostage and barricaded himself.
As soon as that story came out, women was like, oh, Chris Brown said it again. Chris Brown said it again. Then when it came out that the woman was lying,
That's what he thought.
Yeah,
Like he's like, what the hell is going on?
and went back in the house.
and
Yeah,
women,
it's just a random chick.
yeah, and women's like Chris Brown said it again with the boo. But then as soon as it came out that the girl was lying, then everyone said, oh, I'm sorry, Chris Brown, you didn't do it.
No, she should have. It should have been some consequences for her.
Yeah, I think when you lie, like when people call the police and they falsify, it's supposed to be, especially if you say somebody has a weapon. Oh, I don't know, he potentially has a weapon. Like you gotta understand, like the danger you already putting somebody in danger by calling. You already putting me and Travis in danger by just calling the police in general. But to say that we might have a weapon, like you just escalated to. I seen a young dude. He couldn't be no more than 19. He's walking home from work and he's talking to his mom on the phone through a he's walking through a neighborhood and some lady called the police and said whatever she said. She said she thinks he has a weapon. I think this was in Detroit. I want to say Detroit. No, Seattle. It was Seattle. The cops pulled up on this dude with fully automatic weapons, vest on and everything. Talked to him, yelling at him. Some white people came outside and was like, "Hey, look, we're not scared of him. We scared of you. Y'all the ones with the guns." After they figure out he just had a cell phone, they just put their guns back in the car and drove off. That was it. I'm like, bro, you just traumatized
the trauma
this dude.
they have put on him. That's a traumatic experience.
Exactly. Now you expect us to trust and I think this is a full circle what I was going to talk about with the therapy, right? So I think a lot of I'm just going to speak for black men, right? I think a lot of black men has opened up to a female before. That female has used that as ammunition.
Yeah.
And now they don't trust nobody with it, and it's hard for them to go to therapy.
That's why your mama left you when you was a baby. Remember when you told me that?
Right.
That's why your mama don't want you.
So I think
They get to argument.
I can't speak for black women, but I know for black men, that is definitely something. No matter who you talk to, the majority of the black men you talk to, especially from the inner city, you be like, "Hey man, you should go to therapy." I ain't going to, but that's why, like, I told this woman that
Back in the day, the
that I
barbershop used
love.
to be there a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah, kind of changed.
What?
The barbershop. It used to be
Well, yeah,
there a little bit.
it's still kind of like that.
That's
But
what I said.
it's
It's
the
not
same,
as
though.
much.
Like
That's
you
what I
can't
said.
nowadays. You can't go in the
Barbers are
barbershop and
younger.
express your feelings because now men gossip just as
Know
much.
that too. They're about your age. They're not like back in the day. Barbers used to be
Well,
older men that
why-
you could look
yeah,
up
yeah,
to.
yeah,
Now
that's
it's someone that's your age. You
That's
go to
true.
the barbershop.
And then the social media,
social media era.
yeah.
Everybody want to go live.
That I agree with that. Yeah, back in the day, it was different. The barbershop I take my son to
It's an older.
is still the older. Him and his son. His dad cut my hair when I was little. He cut my son hair. Huh?
The Williams.
I think this is his last name right here.
With the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah. It's the same thing. In there, you can talk, but like I said, it's a different dynamic now because, like you say, social media. Now everybody is quick to get the next viral thing. It's the next viral thing. So when you post your relationship, when you post what you're going through with your spouse and all that kind of stuff, you just making yourself the laughing stock of the Facebook.
I want to know your thoughts on this because I know this recently popped up. They talked about it with Beyonce and Sierra. Sierra recently released a song
I haven't heard
about
that.
single women, how you don't need no man, and you know
What?
this and this, but yet they're married. And Beyonce, has single ladies and she's married, and they want to know why are married women making songs like this promoting being single, you don't need a man, but yet they have a man.
Well, single ladies wasn't about not having a man.
No, it wasn't. But she has other songs like Independent Women and all that. Beyonce
She
has
wasn't
other
married at the time Independent Women came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that was Destiny Child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Bill, Bill,
But
Bill.
okay,
Yeah, like,
okay,
what
mine's
are we talking
Beyonce, but Sierra's married and she just released a song now talking about if you're single. She said something like you don't need a man if you on your own, bossing up. Kind of like a boss song for females, but saying that you can be independent, you don't need a man. But she's like, but you have to
Sierra
be
has a-
I
Yeah,
haven't
she's
heard the
released it,
lyrics,
but you got a
she's getting
man.
a lot of backlash.
It
on
has.
because they're saying, okay, is this woman's empowerment or is she just a hypocrite?
Mm.
You're going back home to your husband every night. You with Russell while
I'm gonna try to look at the lyrics and see.
Yeah, that's true.
we out here by ourselves, or you know what I mean? Unmarried women.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the record.
Yeah, I'm about to look at the
I
lyrics.
plan on it. Can you play it?
I didn't even know.
I'm about to see if I can find it.
I didn't even know she was still doing music.
Now
Yeah,
they're
Sierra
saying that
releases
sometimes
independent song.
I think this record
Called
she
For
had
the
it
Girl.
when she was going through that relationship in the future.
Mm.
You know, now it's just being
It's just being released.
But I haven't heard it. I'm very careful
It's called For the Girl.
when I speak on certain things because like I need to hear the words.
Right.
But I mean, listen, you have rappers
I was just about to say that. Snoop Dogg
rap
does that all the
about
time.
50 kilos. You know, transferring drugs, and
Yeah,
they
it's
don't
definitely,
do any of that.
it's
And
definitely
I
a double
know
standard.
few
That's a
rappers
double
that
standard.
speak on that. I'm like, you don't even, but you're not about that life, but it sells records.
Yeah.
People have to understand, when you are an artist, when you are in the industry, you have to rap about certain things that sell records.
It's the part where it says it's for the girls who don't need no man. That's the part that stood out to
It's
people.
some women that feel like they don't.
But she,
I don't understand the problem. Like, what? I don't.
They feel like
Where's the
because-
backlash come
because
from?
she has a man and she's going home to a man, but you saying this is for the girls who don't need a man. I guess that's what they misconstrued the lie.
Yeah. Sometimes, look, I get it. Like,
And then we gotta understand, sometimes this is not their song. Like you'll be surprised how many songs
Songwriters.
people are being performed
Right.
that's written for. Like
but
everybody think
Sierra's not singing songs that she's not writing. Like,
No, I'm
Sierra's
saying
a
like Usher, Confessions, that album.
Yeah.
That was Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
That wasn't even Usher, but Usher was the
The voice.
the
But
voice
somebody,
of.
I like how
Usher ain't
somebody
a
wrote.
songwriter either.
Somebody wrote. Somebody said
He
that
wasn't
she's
on that at least. I don't know
somebody
about the
said
rest
that
of
she's
stuff.
preaching independence, not stay single. You could be independently married or independently single too. Don't act slow in the comments.
Independently married.
I don't know what that means.
That sounds crazy.
There's
I
someone.
get
I
get
it
what-
sounds. It just
it
I
sounds
know what
crazy.
it is.
And
It
it's
sounds crazy, but it makes sense.
And then someone else said, "This is embarrassing to watch a married woman sing a song like this. You do not care about the black women in your community. You can easily make love songs since you are in love with your husband, but you are purposely choosing to make a doing that will encourage the women in our community to stay single because you know that that's what sells and makes money.
Here's my thing.
Please make it make
You don't
sense.
have to listen
Bring black,
to it. You don't
bring
have to
back
listen
love
to it.
songs and stop trying to rob your community."
Okay, see, this,
Yeah, people-
that, come on.
They
man.
try to, they go with that.
She has- When you have the notoriety she does, your fan base, is a smorgasbord
Yeah.
of people.
Just 'cause
At
that
some
song don't pertain
point,
to you, not
especially in the
pertain to somebody
climate that we're in, hasn't music always reflected the climate that we're in?
But not only that,
So,
too, I also feel like stop making these people relationship goals or stop idolizing these artists. They just make music. Like stop
They're
saying, "Oh my
musicians.
God,
Yeah,
whatever
like,
they
people
say,
come
I
out
gotta
talking-
follow." Like that's stupid.
Like that's not Sierra or anybody's responsibility.
It's not. Whatever they say, you don't have to follow. If someone says 1+1 is 10, go look it up for yourself and find out that's not 10.
But Snoop Dogg he literally is married. He's been married for a long time.
Yeah.
He got a song called PIMP with 50 Cent. But he's
Yeah.
on a song with
But he
50
used to
Cent
be a
called
PIMP.
PIMP.
Yeah, but check the context of during the time frame of that song between.
But that's not his song per se. That's 50
No,
Cent's
but-
song. But
He
the
used to be a pimp back in the day.
What I'm saying is
Crip.
his foundation is rolling 20 Crip.
Yeah.
Right.
But it got to a point where between when he got with No Limit,
After Death Row.
and when he formed the East Side with Goldie Loc and Trey D.
Yeah.
Right.
Between that time frame is when PIMP all that, right? Him and Shantae were not on good terms. He was out here.
He was out there.
I'm not saying he wasn't.
What I'm
just
saying is like
he
that man, like he wasn't when he was out here making that music, he wasn't living that married life.
I can see that.
He was honest about that.
And he was very honest about it.
Yeah.
I never
They came a long way.
heard him. I didn't know he was married for a while until
Well, they
I ain't
had a
gonna lie.
reality show
Yeah, they had it.
a few years back, but he said he got with Pharrell. And
that's what the
he came out with that song, Beautiful.
yeah.
He got a beautiful wife.
Right. Well, that's
He
when I found out
started
he was
making
married.
music about her.
Yeah.
That's when
And
the
that's when the
narrative changed.
transition
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So like everything that Snoop has done, like he's put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
He's not
In the
making
top-
it.
In the time that he whatever he was going through at the time.
Right. He was transparent.
Like the man changed his name. Everybody,
Lion.
it's Snoop Lion. Like
Is it still Snoop Lion?
no, it's not. No, it's back on the. But like
It's like P. Diddy.
but at the same
Diddy.
time, now when he got back to the Make America Crip Again thing because no of the command because of the who he had in the office at the time, our commander in chief. He felt like everybody in the black community felt like Donald Trump was an attack on the black community.
Yeah.
So what is the real nature and foundation of the Crip outside of what is their
community
revolution and progress? Bloods were the same thing.
Brothers.
They were neighborhood entities.
Yeah.
Hey, they come around here fucking with it. Like we got
Those
our own
offspring
order.
of the Black Panthers.
Exactly. They were all, exactly. They were offsprings of the Black Panthers. Anybody come around here, hey, we all blood. Boom. This is what it is. Hey, we all come on, man. We all about this community revolution, man. We got to protect all. It wasn't until this Crip set over here, this Crip set over here had an issue, and somebody got bodied. Now every Crip set.
I heard a story about how
That's Monster Code.
No, I heard how Crips and Blood actually the first reported drive-by and how they kicked off. Maybe not them, but how it kicked off. And it was set up.
I misspoke. That was way before Monster
It was
Code.
set up.
I misspoke.
It was set up. So what I heard on the documentary was it was set up by the FBI. So they did the hit, which caused
the confusion,
the war, I guess you would say, which took it from the Black Panther movement to actually gangbang.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started. But
So they can just start killing themselves on.
Yeah.
right, now they doing the job for them. Basically. So, yeah.
Before we move on in our podcast, I just want to say I can't wait. I cannot wait to see the survivor Trey Songz video. I know that.
You've been talking about that for a minute.
Epic. And like the meme said, if someone said that Trey Songz did it, he did it. But I believe, no, this is my thing. There's a lot of females who say he did this and this and this, and sometimes it's kind of hard to believe some females, especially when they like social media.
I've only heard Kiki Palmer.
No. That's some social media groupies who said that too. My thing is, 50 Cent came out and said that he is no longer invited anywhere.
Yeah, I heard. I saw him.
50 Cent is weird that 50 Cent lie about some stuff or make up some BS. 50 Cent is not the one to just be like, oh, I'm gonna lie on your name for no reason. It's like, if he says that Trey Songz can't go nowhere with him because he does some stuff, believe him, he did it. But before we end our podcast,
that's what he said about Diddy.
It's true. In the interview, he kept calling Fabulous Daddy.
Diddy, even before that, he said, I'm trying to tell you, Puff Daddy been a fruit pop. Nobody want to believe you though.
Before we end our podcast, Clifford Mack, let us know any thank you, shout out, where people can check out your podcast, what days do you go live?
Of course.
How can people network with you? It was all the
I gotta steal. So yes, Peeling Off the Layers podcast is on every streaming platform. Anchor, Radio Public, Spotify. I have a lot of episodes there already. The latest one is episode 13, entitled Not All Over. Go ahead and check that out. I will be hosting the Media Entertainment Summit in Austin, Texas, March the 11th.
nice.
Same time. Southwest. So you guys need to go to my Instagram, follow me on Peeling Off the Layers podcast, or the link in the bio. You can purchase your all access badge. So every creative, every podcaster, every artist, every director, every producer, you got record label execs, they're going to be there. Special guests, they're going to be in the building. All being brought to you by Ugly Brand. Big shouts out to Liz and hiphop5.com.
What is the key to your success? We forgot to ask you that.
Sorry?
What's the key to your success? How do you get to where you are now? Because you are flourishing, you're networking, you got your billboard work, graduation, you get that. What's the key?
You just gotta believe in yourself. Like, I am a true believer in manifestation. And it was a time where I stopped believing. It was a time where I was seeking myself. And not taking my own potential seriously. There's a time where I wasn't recording for like a whole year and 6 months. Like,
you know, when life starts lifing,
Yeah.
you gotta take a step back and really take care of you. But it's like I remember my catalog, I remember my revenue, I remember everything that I've been doing. Um, it all comes back full circle. I have to believe in myself. You know, if I don't believe in myself, how can I expect you to take me seriously?
Right.
So we have to believe in ourselves and what we carry, and we can never forget who we are. We can never forget who we are. This is what I speak about. Um, so yeah, the key to my success is just me, my belief in myself, believing that I can do it, believing that what I carry is a gift, and no one can take that from me because it's my gift that I'm giving to you. So that's the key to it. The billboard was we have to invest in this. We got to take this stuff serious.
Right.
Everybody out here can have a billboard.
I be seeing them. I wanna.
Everybody
I be wanting
can
to call.
have. It's like, and it's crazy. I remember, true story. I remember when they built the billboard. I was actually working on that side of town, and it was pre-COVID. And I said, I'm working on that billboard today. And actually, the lady did shout out to Andrew Owen and Jen, the team behind the billboard. They follow me, they support me, uh, just making those connections. And it was an investment that was worth it because I'm worth it.
Right.
And it's about making impact. If you have a gift and you're not doing anything with it, you're wasting time. You know, we gotta help other people. Your story, your story, your story. Everybody has a story.
See it. That's the billboard. Every man valley.
Everybody has a story.
I know.
So you just can't think less of yourself.
Right.
You can't half-ass it. You gotta go all the way. So I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. I used to record myself when I was a kid.
Yeah, my daughter.
You know, just to hear my voice. But some people don't know, I had a speech impediment.
Okay.
I stuttered a lot. You can't tell now because I've done the work to perfect my voice. I took the voice addiction classes in college. I did the, you know, acting. Radio really has taught me how to transition conversations. And I would love to talk to you guys about that, but I'm going to press the time. But radio, I just fell in love with it. It was my passion. I had to step away for a little bit, but now I'm back and it just feels good to be back. And whatever I got going on, if it's an opportunity for me, I want to bring other people with me.
Right.
So it's about dropping those keys for other people, leaving those doors open. I don't want to hold everything in by myself. I'm not keeping nothing to myself. I'm in no competition with anybody in this city. I love everybody. I show love to everybody. And I'm like, there's so much magic and so much power we hold. We can do amazing things together.
I agree.
So that's the answer to your question, Baby Blue. I mean, you just gotta believe in self. So, Peeling Off the Layers podcast, streaming on every platform. The Media Entertainment Summit going down March 11th in Austin, Texas. If you're going to be in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, you need to be at this event. Get the access badge. Big shouts out to Liz and hiphopvibe.com. Elton Brand. I'm one of the hosts. It's an honor and privilege to get back out there.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Y'all can come. I give the information.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that the link? That's, I think it's on your Instagram, right?
Yes, so it's in the bio. That's the link for the tickets.
Okay. I see.
I also have a segment on my podcast, which is on Facebook. You can follow me as well. You know, there's a podcast. It's called Official Girl, Review Girl, where I pay homage to a lot of women in either media, the real estate agents, whatever you are doing to make impact in your community. I shine light on you.
Right.
We talk about your story, your testimony, and just show love because you have to give honor and honor is due. You guys support each other.
Yeah. We did that at one of ours, the Black Excellence Award. It's another podcast in the city. If this mic can talk, they usually have that segment on theirs. If Black Excellence.
Yeah, Black
Yeah. Shouts out to B. Kennedy Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been on the show. I was
Yeah.
there. Actually, true story. there was the I was on their show back in April, but I met them at the Street Fest for the fair.
Oh,
I actually saw you. I actually saw you that same day.
you saw
was
my
in
nerves got to me when I was in the DJ competition.
Yeah, and I was just like,
My nerves
keep doing
got
what
to
you're
me.
doing. Don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
Like,
listen.
literally in the middle of the, at the end of the competition, D Jones said, like, fix your face. He saw my face. He's like, fix your face. I was like, I want to cry. But yeah, that's dope.
But I was
Shout out
on
to
their podcast. Actually, it was like an impromptu interview when I met them. They were broadcasting live.
Yeah,
So that's a little backstory of how I met them.
we gotta tell you something about them after the show. Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the second podcast that I've been on in this city.
Okay.
Yeah, we trying to network. So
Yeah,
that's why we tell you come out to our podcast and then you really gonna network with more podcasts.
absolutely. Shouts out to Voices of B.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
shows support.
She's gonna be one of our main podcasters, the whole story. Get your big draw, get your big girl draw
Yeah.
on, and let's get chatty. All female podcasters.
Yes, they were at the 100 Black Men event.
I was there too.
I saw
Look
you.
at me there.
I came to you.
We
You guys
know
talking
and not even know we
everything.
seen each other. That's crazy.
You know, but no, I just love to network.
I agree. Any shout outs, thank yous you want to give out? Mr. Hello.
Shout out to my family. Shout out to my fight team. Shout out to the students that had the battles. Shout out to my podcast team. Uh, Shout out to you and all and everything that you're doing and all and the success that you have accumulated to this point and everything that you'll do in the future. And shout out to all of my supporters.
Man, I want to thank me.
Okay, Snoop Dogg. Okay, Snoop Dogg.
No, man, shout out
Okay,
to my
Snoop
wife,
Dogg.
the kids, my sister, my mom, and all the people that support us. Shout out to my team. Shout out to Live and Five Studios. You know, holding it down on the interview side. Shout out to Converse, man. I let your boy, man. I need a spot. Give me something, man. I spent a lot of money with y'all.
Oh, I don't know why you say Converse. I'm thinking
Converse, Texas.
Yeah, I was like, I need a spot first.
No, you can have that spot.
No, you from East Side. I've been.
Yeah, I can get a spot over there. I got a whole street. It might not be there no more. That's my street. And that's about it. Shout out to Cheryl and Mickey Sweet for looking out for us whenever they can. And I think that's about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't even shout out anybody. I just shout out my platform.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, that's
My son, Shiloh, going to be a teenager this year, so I'm pretty got a teenager on my hands. Just my family, who really truly genuinely love me and hold me down. Everybody who believes in me, and thank you really as my dads for inviting me and showing up for your platform, because there's so many people that want to do this with their children and they don't know how and who to talk to. So just know that you are changing lives and you are impacting people, and people are watching.
yeah, we
They
know.
may not say nothing, but
They be shy stupid.
people watching. But it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. Sometimes people just want to watch and see what you do. Yeah. So keep doing it and just stay true to yourself.
Shout out to everyone who supports
Well, I gotta
me.
do the question too after you do the shout.
Shout out to everyone who supports me and everything that I do. Shout out to my podcast people. Shout out to our guests.
C Mac.
C Mac.
That used to be my wife's name.
Okay.
C Mac. That's what used to be. Her name is C Murphy.
What she says?
We don't call it C Mac.
Is Mac there? Okay. Shout out to everyone who support me on my podcasters right here. My Whole Lectures podcast, the Way You Ask podcast, Weekly Radio. You know it's not a podcast, but still. Today is Tuesday. Thursday. We ain't doing nothing Thursday night. I'm at Pure Bar, DJing in the mix. We're gonna have Precision performing live, certified lover.
See ya.
Sliding into that's my song. And then DKT or none is performing as well. So I'm in the mix. Go out there to Pure Bar. I'll be so busy. I almost missed out. They have a DJ this week, so it happens. Put that on the calendar. Calendars are useful. You start using it. But anyone else, like I said, that support us, March 18th. March 18th, live podcasting event. Make sure y'all come out. You do not want to miss it. It's gonna be something that you've never seen before. Something in what we usually do. So you definitely want to come out. We're gonna post a flyer, tag everybody, let you know when tickets are on sale. Just go ahead, come out. It's gonna be a dope event. We're gonna have so much fun. And you get to dress down. You don't have to dress up this time, so you get to come comfortable.
You have good
All
food
this.
too.
Before we end the podcast, every new guest we have a question that we like to ask. I still haven't answered this question yet, but I will one day. But they have. So go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. So the question is, so this was in the light of the Kyrie and Kanye West.
Kyrie and Kanye West. Okay.
So you remember what they was going through with what they said.
What about Kanye? Because he said a lot.
Okay, so the what
I'm a fan of Kanye.
what they said and the consequences that follow.
Okay.
So the question is, what is a truth that you have that you stand on that you're willing to suffer the consequences?
That's a good question.
One of our guests said that unsweet tea is the best tea. That's her truth.
Yeah, that was.
He said, yours.
I had a couple.
You had a couple.
I don't remember what mine was. I know mine had to do with nationality. So I was just saying.
My truth is that something that I stand on profoundly. I am very loyal. You will never be anything like that. Doesn't matter what kind of relationship we have, it could be friendship, it could be personal, intimate relationship. It will never be about
See, how come everybody can come on here and answer this question? All right, you signing us off?
A lot of truth. I don't know.
Just pick one. Write it down.
Truth that I'm willing to suffer the consequences on is. I cannot hear this.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. That's not it.
Definitely.
Anybody here see
Otis.
But you already know. It's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
This your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5.
It's T1.
I
No, I'm a baby.
But I guess
was
Clifford
waiting for it.
Mack, and we are out.